Hey everybody, it's me, Crazy Frankie, and I'd like to welcome you to my Week 11 4 key game picks. Not gonna talk about too much about Week 10 because I really need to get into my Week 11 picks because this is another late video that I'm doing. It's been pretty busy for me these last few weeks, and it's gonna get even more busier for me going into next week, even though it's Thanksgiving. But I'm going to try to get all my picks in as early as I can. I mean, a lot's going on with me. But anyways, enough about that. Week 10, well, I was actually, I will admit, though, I was right. I was right on my upset pick last week that the New Orleans Saints would beat the Atlanta Falcons. It was kind of not a shocker to me or a surprise because the New Orleans Saints, in the last few years, have actually owned the Falcons, believe it or not. And as I was stating so many times, is that the Atlanta Falcons really haven't been beating quality opponents. That's one of the reasons why they were undefeated up until this point. I know a lot of you are saying, well, I know the Saints suck this year, but the Saints played them very well. I kind of figured this would be a trap game for the Falcons, and I was right. The first time we had in the NFL in over 4 years, the San Francisco 49ers and the St. Louis Rams that game ended in a tie, which I didn't expect that one to be coming. But for NFC seeding right now, this could hurt the 49ers. That one tie could make the difference of who will get the home field advantage. I mean, I still pretty much assume that the 49ers will be in the playoffs. They will win the division. But there's a question right now on the condition of Alex Smith. I mean, he had a concussion in that game, so we don't know I don't have much news yet on Alex Smith and whether he's going to start because the 49ers have a big game coming up. The Chicago Bears and the Houston Texans game, it was a snooze fest. I mean, it was basically a bad weather game. Jay Cutler got hurt in that game as well. He also got a concussion, and especially the fact that with the Green Bay Packers now inches of breathing down their neck. I mean, they're only one game back of them, and going into this week, this is a very big week for both the Packers and the Bears, and in their respective games to see who would take over first place in that division. Whether if it's a tie. Sorry for my stuttering there. But if you have to say what was the best team out of Week 11, I gotta say it's the Houston Texans. They played very well. Even without their key defensive players, their key defensive linebacker who was out for the season, they played the Bears very well. So I gotta say the Houston Texans right now. I don't know if I would consider them the favorites in the AFC. It's really tough to say in that conference right now because really it's going back and forth between who is the better team in that conference alone. Like I said, this year it's been interesting. I mean, every week it's hard to tell who is a heavy favorite. I mean, teams that usually end up winning one week, they ended up losing in the next week. It's really been an interesting year. And if you were to ask me who the best team is right now, I really wish I could tell you that. To be honest, I really don't know. But anyways, that's pretty much all what happened. I mean, I already know about the Eagles, what happened to them. They lost to the Cowboys and Michael Vick getting hurt again. Oh, speaking of injuries, Roethlisberger getting hurt last week against the Chiefs. That is big. That is really, really big. And as far as I know, the status of him, his return is going to be big time question right now. I really don't know if he's going to. I don't know if he's going to come back or not because really he got hurt really badly against the Chiefs last week, and especially Pittsburgh's got a big one coming up this week. They got a big game coming up this week. Anyways, enough about Week 11, Week 10. Let's get into Week 11, shall we? You have to forgive me for my stuttering here. I mean, this is a very quick. I'm trying to get this video done as quickly as possible so that way I can get my picks up. Anyways, I got to make this quick here. Going into Week 11 here, the 4 key games here. This isn't much, but this is what I'm going to talk about here. My first key game is the Colts and the Patriots. And a lot of you thinking now, I mean, it's Andrew Luck. He's a rookie quarterback. This might end up being a pretty good game here. I mean, I got to give a lot of credit to Andrew Luck. He's really kept the Indianapolis Colts intact. I mean, there's not many rookie quarterbacks who go into the league to really give a team some hope and attack in the first year. But it still goes by standards the fact that he is a rookie, and this is really one of his first big games of his career. I mean, the Patriots, I mean, this is a real test for Andrew Luck. I don't really have much hope for this game, but I got to go with the Patriots here. The Patriots have way too much experience. Andrew Luck is playing probably the biggest game this year for him, and really the Colts are still in the mix of things in the AFC South. I highly doubt they'll catch the Texans, but they have a shot at getting into the playoffs here. But I just think for this week alone, the Colts, they don't have enough to beat the Patriots. Patriots have too much experience, so I gotta go with the New England Patriots here. The Patriots over the Colts. Key game number 2. This is one I'd rather not talk about here, but it is a key game. It's the Chargers at the Broncos. I already know what happened in the first meeting. I don't need anybody to tell me that. And it goes without saying, with the way the Chargers are playing right now, that game they had last week against the Buccaneers was sickening. As a Chargers fan myself, I can't really say too much about it. I mean, it's really breaking my heart that this team is falling apart. And it is a key game because it is total control of the AFC West division, but I just don't think the Chargers have enough. The Broncos are playing spectacular football. Peyton Manning is on a roll. And in this game, I hate to say it, but the Broncos are going to beat the Chargers. The Broncos will have total control of the AFC West. The Chargers right now are in disarray. Rivers is not playing well. People are speculating whether Norv Turner will be fired or not, and I really think he is going to get fired because the team is just playing terribly. Coaching staff, I don't know what the coaching staff is doing, but this team right now is not the same. And the Broncos have enough. I think they will beat the Chargers here. They pretty much will take command of the division. Key game number 3. This really now hasn't become much of a key game now, and let me get into that for a little bit. I'm talking about the Ravens and the Steelers. This is the second meeting of the year between these two teams, but now it's become the fact that with Ben Roethlisberger getting hurt now, I don't know if Richards can get. I don't know if their backup quarterbacks can get the Steelers team going. I mean, you could say they still have talent on this team, but the Ravens already beat them once already. I don't see how they're going to beat them again. I think they're going to sweep the Steelers. I mean, Ben Roethlisberger really needs to be in this game. And the fact that he's hurt, it really hurts the Steelers' chances to try to catch it because they're only one game out of the division. But Roethlisberger's hurt. I really don't think the Steelers have much of a chance. I mean, their defense could probably save them, but offensively, Roethlisberger needs to be in this game. And he's hurt. And I just say, I mean, this I think there will be a close game. I mean, defense is gonna be huge in this game. But in all honesty, I gotta go with the Ravens here. The Ravens are gonna take command of the division. I don't think the Steelers have enough. I mean, without Roethlisberger, their offense really is not the same. I gotta go with the Ravens here. I'm gonna go with the Ravens over the Steelers. Key game number 4 is the Chicago Bears and the San Francisco 49ers. This is a big one here. Both these teams need a win in this game. 49ers, they got to watch out. The Seahawks are not far behind them, and that one tie they had last week against the Rams could end up hurting them. The Bears right now, Jay Cutler is also questionable for this game as well, but I think he will be in this game. It's going to be a very good game. Same thing with Alex Smith. I think he'll be back for this one. I don't know. You got to look at NFL.com for more news about that. This is a huge game for both these teams. For the Bears, the Packers are breathing down their neck. They're only one game back, and they need to stay within the win column. Otherwise, that division could be tied up. Packers are playing the Lions, by the way, in that one, so I expect the Packers to win that one anyway. Going back to this one here, the Bears and the Niners. Defense is a... I mean, if the defense couldn't beat the Houston Texans last week, who's to say they can't beat the 49ers here? If Alex Smith is back for this game, the 49ers offense should be intact. This is a good one here. It's going to be a close game, but I'm going to say the 49ers will beat the Bears. I just think they'll get back on track. They know they got the 49ers know they got the Seahawks breathing down their neck. And the same thing with the Bears. They got the Packers breathing down their neck. This is a huge game for both the 49ers and the Bears. But I think the 49ers have enough offense here. They will break apart the Chicago Bear defense here. I like the 49ers in this one. So that's it. That's it, everybody. That is my Week 11 key game picks. Check back on my blog before kickoff. I'll have all of my Week 11 picks up there. And until then, enjoy your football Sunday, and I will see you next week for my Thanksgiving edition of my Week 12 picks. Until then, take care.